Okay, folks, so I made a video. I made a video a couple of days ago about how a lot of the MMA community, they're coming down on Jessica Andrade, for knocking out Karolina Kowalkiewicz. Now, I'll tell you something, okay? I made that video. I showed Jessica passing test, and let me tell you something. I don't know if it was a video response to me. It sure seemed like it, but I tell you this. I'm nobody's damn fool, and I know what I'm talking about. Stay tuned. Okay, so no intro, guys. I've been around athletics for over 20 years of my life, and definitely mostly all of my adult life. I've been around athletics, and I started my venture in the track and field world where I competed in a collegiate level and I coached on a world level. So I've coached on all levels. I've coached on a junior level, a high school level, a national level, and a world level. So I've been all over the world, dealing with high-level athletes. And I do know a thing or two about steroid usage, okay? And steroids do affect the performance of a fighter, a runner, a jumper, doesn't matter, okay? But, I put up Jessica Andrade's drug test, okay? I posted those, and I actually, said, hey, Jessica hadn't been popped. Because, see, I'm trying to prove a point, okay? See, people can say, oh, well, I can do the eye test and see, I can do the eye test. Yep, they're on steroids. They just know how to beat the test. Well, has Jessica been popped? Because, see, what I'm trying to get at is, why don't any of you people that you claim you know so much, why don't you same people come out and say something about Holly Holm? I mean, we want to talk about abs. We want to talk about that. Well, okay, look at Holly Holm abs. Would you say she's on steroids? Don't fit the narrative, do it? That don't fit the narrative, do it? No, it don't fit the narrative. And then we had the mainstream media try to come out and say, well, head kicks are normal. Really? So it's normal for a woman to head kick, knock out another woman? That's not using. I done seen tons of head kicks in fights. I done seen tons of them. And the majority of them head kicks don't knock people out. So why won't this community say that Holly Holm, are we looking at her body? She ripped, she jacked. Why is she not on steroids? See, the reason why I made that video, and the reason why I showed Jessica Andrade a test, I did it. I did it to actually prove a point how freaking biased, not even biased, but how, even stereotypical that the MMA community is when it comes to Brazilian women and women of color. Oh, yeah. But see, Jessica Andrade, Chris Cyborg, these are the only women that we want. See, you don't have to try to explain to me that, oh, well, I got all this knowledge. Fine. Because I can sit here and tell you all my credentials. I can tell you all of my credentials. And I'm just putting it out there. I got a lot of credentials. People say, well, what do you coach? I done been all over the world coaching high-level athletes. Yeah. And I've seen a lot of high-level athletes actually pass some of the most legitimate tests out there. Now, do you have athletes that can beat tests? Of course. Of course. Look at some of the people on the screen. Who would you think wouldn't pass a drug test? Like, who would you actually think wouldn't pass a drug test? Would you think that Jessica Andrade and Holly Holm could pass a drug test? Because if we go by the eye test, it looked like they on steroids. But isn't it funny how Jessica Panay, who really don't even look like she fit the bill. And this is the most recent photograph of Jessica Panay, by the way. We would never think that she's using some type of performance-enhancing drug, huh? Isn't that something? We seem to never know who's using. Hey, I tell you what, let's go to a different sport. Okay? Sandra Perkovic. Y'all might not know who that is. I actually know Sandra, okay? I know Sandra. This is no disrespect to Sandra. I done met her at many, many track meets. Okay? Sandra Perkovic, when she first started, she didn't even look like she could be using steroids. She got popped. She got popped. Before she even started, breaking national records and, having world-leading throws in the discus, she got popped. Huh. Sandra actually didn't look like she was using steroids. She can throw the discus 72 meters, but, she didn't look like, her body didn't give the physique. See, in different sports with women is different. Okay? And it depends on the sport. See, go to the sport of track and field. Okay? You can look at a sprinter and you can say, I think they're using. But you know, it's always the people that you don't think using. Those are the ones that's getting popped. Let's go to the great Marion Jones. I mean, look at Marion's physique. Marion was, you know, she was thin. Was very, very thin. But, you know, Marion Jones, at one point in her career, she was the fastest woman on the planet. Like, she was beating women by 15 and 20 meters, man. I'm talking about looking back at them. Would you have ever thought that Marion Jones was using steroids? She don't even look like, her body don't even give that physique like she on steroids. I tell you, boy. See, it's perception. It's perception. Whenever Jessica Andrade get tested, she passing. Now, this is the same USADA. They popped Tyson Gay. They popped Tim Montgomery. They popped Maria Sharapova, the tennis player, who don't look like she on steroids. Anybody can get popped for steroids, right? Anybody. My point that I was making in the video is that the damn MMA community, the only person that they want to see with this body type right here is Jessica Andrade, Chris Cyborg, Danielle Dynamite Taylor. Those are the only people that they seem to always want to point this stuff out to. But nobody want to point it out with Holly Holm. We don't want to point it out with Tisha Torres. We don't want to do that because that don't fit the narrative. Yeah. It don't fit the narrative. Why are there not more people running around here talking about Holly Holm on steroids? Why? Oh yeah, that's right. She hadn't been popped. But I can look at the eye test. I can say, you know what? I think Holly Holm could be on steroids. And I'm probably right. She probably could be covering up. Jessica Andrade maybe could be covering it up. But we don't know. We don't know that, do we? Because the eye test and accusing somebody, well, you know people can't do that. Because now you're getting in defamation of character. Yeah, crazy, huh? But if we want to do the cut test, the rip test, we can do all of that. That's fine. I'm with that. But if we're going to do that for Jessica Andrade, we got to do it across the board. And I made the video to prove that point. My video is not to say, well, I don't think Jessica using. That's not why I made the video. My video is to call out the BS in the women's MMA community. Okay, to call out the BS over and over with the Brazilians. Okay? But nobody want to question this right here, right? No, we don't want to talk about Holly Holm. Nah, of course not. We don't want to talk about Tisha Torres. Oh, yeah, why? Why? Because they look more feminine than Jessica? I mean, is that what it is? That's what this about? Nah, I'm nobody's fool. And I'm putting it out there the way I put it out there. Easy work. Nobody's fool. But I get what we're saying. Could Jessica be using? Probably. Has Jessica popped? No. Could Gabby Garcia be using? High possibility. Has Gabby Garcia been popped? No. That's the point that I was making with that video. Perception is everything. You know, people always want to perceive that Andrade and Cyborg and all these other people of color are on steroids. Isn't it funny, every time they get a big win, then you got these naysayers that come around there. Oh yeah, they talented people. By their own admission though, they talented people. And that's something. But nobody wants to give Holly Holm the rip test, huh? Nobody want to do that. Nah, that's too much. That's too much to give it to Holly Holm, because you know why? Because that'll mess up the narrative of the blonde. Yeah. Nobody really want to talk about people who actually have popped. Now, if these people pop, I'll be the first one to make a video. I don't co-sign people drugging up. I forgive them for doing it, but I don't co-sign it. It's a combat sport. And you put steroids in somebody, you can kill, man. Somebody can die, man. Somebody can die. But you guys tell me what you think about the perception test, and why does it always seem like it's always people of color that get the steroid accusations, more so than other people who look jacked or who have popped? I'm done.